Hey Busy Bees, it's Sung and welcome back to our fall baking series. Today I'm going to be sharing a delicious mochi matcha cake. Doesn't that sound so good? This recipe is inspired by one of my favorite restaurants in LA, Republique, and I thought it would be really fun to take you guys there, so let's go. I'm so excited because I'm gonna buy a slice, take it home, and then we're gonna compare and contrast to our homemade version, which I hope is gonna be just as good. But look at their pastry case. They have so many good pastries, cakes, you name it. Even their food is super good, and the interior is so beautiful. This place is so popular in LA. It's one of the best brunch places to go. Can I get that one with the 2 full raspberries one? Yeah. And then there's so many good things. Oh, okay, perfect, thank you. So I couldn't help myself and we came here just for the matcha mochi cake, but there's so many good items. So I ended up getting a zucchini corn quiche to savor the last bit of summer. Our matcha mochi cake. This one is another one that I want to try to recreate, and you guys tell me if you want to see it. It's a sweet potato muffin, but look at it. Doesn't it look like a s'mores with the marshmallow on top? Actually, I take it back. It reminds me of my favorite Thanksgiving side dish, the sweet potato with roasted marshmallows on top. Oh my gosh, and this one got turned into a muffin. That's such a great idea to use leftover sweet potatoes to turn it into this. I don't know, you guys, but I'm definitely gonna be testing this out at home and trying to recreate this too. Okay, so here is their matcha mochi cake. Doesn't it look so good? I'm gonna try my best to recreate this, and honestly, I'm not gonna say that I can make a better one than this because I love all of their pastries. Everything they make is just, I'm speechless. It's just the best pastry ever. So we're gonna try to make our own homemade version, and it's really quite simple. Of course, I always have to put a little honeysuckle twist in there, but let's go ahead and get started. And you guys, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fall baking videos. If you like matcha or you like the new format of our videos, just go ahead and give us some love. All right, so I'm starting off with 1/2 cup of melted coconut oil. Typically, mochi cake is made with butter, but I thought I'd use a little bit more healthy fats in there, and this infuses it with that coconutty flavor that goes so well with matcha. Then 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, and now with my hand mixer, I'll just mix. Okay, so I just mixed the sugar enough so it fluffs up. You don't want it to dissolve yet. And now we're gonna add 4 eggs at room temperature. Now I'll just give it another quick mix until it's nice and blended. And then we're gonna add in the rest of our ingredients. I'm gonna add 1 can of full fat coconut milk, 1 can of evaporated milk, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, about 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1 box of mochiko flour. So mochiko flour is sweet rice flour. If you can't find this box, then go ahead and look for anything that says glutinous rice flour, because this type of rice gives it that chewiness that's identifiable in a mochi. If you were to use regular rice flour, you're not gonna get the same consistency. So just try to look for this or glutinous rice flour. I'm using the whole box, or 16 ounces here. And finally, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder to lift and make it springy. I'll give it 1 final mix. And that's pretty much it for the batter. You really cannot go wrong with this batter because you don't have to worry about over mixing it. Rice flour has 0 gluten. Oh, this is totally gluten-free. Now I'm just gonna scrape the bowl, make sure I scrape the bottom so that the flour is evenly mixed. Did you guys notice? I got a bigger bowl that fits everything. No more spillage. So many of you guys were saying how the small bowl was giving you so much anxiety that I might spill, but I got you covered this week. So I have two 9-inch rounds right here that I'm gonna pour the batter into. Now I wanted to make it round because I wanted to make it look like the one from Republique, but this is a pretty large batter, so if you wanted to, you can certainly use a large 9x13 baking pan and it would fit everything into one pan. But you'll still need to line the bottom with some parchment paper, like I've done here. Press it in. I like cutting the parchment paper a little bigger so that it covers the sides so it doesn't get into the crevices, because that's really hard to clean. So make it a little bigger or taller. Now I'm just gonna divide the batter in half between the two pans. And now into the oven they go at 350 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. So while our mochi cakes are baking in the oven, I thought we'd get to our favorite part of the show, the Q&A. I've been getting so many questions from you guys on Instagram stories that I thought it would be fun to integrate and answer them here to make it more conversational. If you guys haven't followed me on Instagram yet, please do so at Honeysuckle Bees. I post on stories all the time and I'm gonna answer your questions. Okie dokie. By Sang-a-Lang 2010, favorite cleaning products to use around the house. That's a question I never thought I would get asked, and I kind of love it because I love buying cleaning products. It's weird. I have a few stockpiled. My favorite all-purpose spray is one by 7th Generation, the disinfectant one. It smells kind of like woodsy. I think they use thymol oil, I think that's how you say it, but it cleans well and it's non-toxic, it's plant-based, so I feel better about using it around air sea. If I don't use that, then I really love the Grapefruit Grove one by The Honest Company. It smells like grapefruit and it's so fruity. It's fun to clean with it. We'll use that in the kitchen or in the bathroom and stuff like that. But I'm really excited to tell you guys about my favorite laundry detergent, which is really weird because for the longest time when moving down to LA, I couldn't find this product. It's called Ecos, E-C-O-S, and I found it at Costco for $7.99 and it has like 210 loads. I used to use this all the time in the Bay Area when I could find the products, so I was so happy to find them at Costco down here that I bought two. And then many of you guys also DM'd me about where else I can find them, and Amazon has a really good deal on them too. Let's see, what else? Isn't that so random? But I love the randomness of it. What is your favorite YouTube blog for food? You mean like videos? For YouTube videos for food, I really love watching Mangchi. She's just so funny and she introduces us to all the Korean foods that either Nate and I don't know about or stuff that we've had at the restaurants that we want to try recreating. She is one of my favorite YouTubers for food, but for blog, if I want to search out Korean food, I love Korean bapsang. She has really great recipes as well. Donald, of course, his food travel and recipes always look so good. And then my other favorite YouTubers to watch, they don't do food, although he started doing Kyuho's Ugly Kitchen. And I hope you continue, Kyuho, because I love watching cooking shows, but I really just love watching them eat too. And it's Two Hearts, One Soul. They put out vlogs every Sundays and I always look forward to watching them because it's like a different experience. Let's see, I think those are my three favorites. Oh, it's a My Jen. Will you guys continue to live in LA for the next several years or do you see yourselves moving? That's a tough question. So when we first left the Bay Area, we decided that we were just gonna live in LA for a year, move somewhere else for a year. Hawaii has always been a dream of mine to live. But as we started getting settled here, we decided that LA is really where we want to stay long term. Now, I still have the dream of moving to Hawaii, maybe just for 6 months. Nate says 3 max because he doesn't like the hot weather, but he'll agree to 3 months and possibly from October to December when it's not so hot. I'll take any time of the year, really, to be honest with you. Thank you so much for the questions, and if you guys want to ask more interesting, fun questions, go ahead and over to my Instagram at Honeysuckle Bees and post it on there. I have a highlighted one where I said, ask me anything. So you can post it there, or if you don't want to, go ahead and just post it in the comment section below. I'll read them all. And I always get questions about my wardrobe. So I'm gonna start integrating that into our regular videos as well. Today's dress is brought to you by Madewell. It's a new fall dress that just came in. I love the smock top and the ruffled sleeves, and it's like a fit and flare dress that's just long enough. If you saw my post at Republic, I paired it with some black Victorian booties to toughen it up a little bit, but this could totally be paired with like espadrilles or sandals too, depending on the weather where you live. So yeah, if you guys like that fashion segment for me to kind of tell you guys where I got my stuff, let me know below. All right, I think our cake is just about ready, so let me go check on it. Our cakes are done, so I'm gonna let them cool completely before I remove them from the pan. Coconutty mochi cake, it smells so good. Now to make our matcha glaze, here I have about 2 cups of powdered sugar. Then I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of matcha powder, a pinch of salt, give it a quick mix. And now we'll pour in about 2 tablespoons of milk. Mix it up. If it's looking too thick, go ahead and just thin it out with a little more milk. This looks good. So our cakes have cooled completely, and I just put the cooled ones on the rack, like a rack so that I could pour the glaze over and not make a mess. I left the parchment paper on it still because it'll catch any of the glaze that drips down. Let me just kind of open it up. Look at the beautiful golden brown edges. Oh, it's gonna be my favorite part. All right, so with our glaze, I'm gonna pour a little bit on top, and with my offset spatula, we'll just spread it out. So shiny and yummy. Oh, we're gonna let it kind of harden and thicken up for about 10 minutes. And just like theirs, I'm gonna top mine with some raspberries, fresh raspberries. We're just gonna place them randomly. Okay, our glaze is set, so let's go ahead and cut a slice. So side-by-side comparison, right off the bat, you can tell my matcha glaze is way darker than theirs. I opted to add 2 tablespoons of matcha powder because I really wanted that pronounced flavor, but you can totally get away with just 1 tablespoon as well, and it would probably look somewhere around this green color. Now, texture. Theirs feel a little bit more spongy, where mine feels more smooth and I want to say slimy. Not in a bad way, but soft. It has more of a softness to it, where this feels more rough. Could be because I just finished baking mine, and they probably did theirs hours and hours ago. They probably baked it early this morning, and it had time to develop and kind of crust up because their cake were all cut up, pre-cut. Honestly, why don't we just taste it? That was actually a little hard to cut, probably because mochis are so, I don't know, glutinous. It sticks to everything. Not too sweet. I love the burst of raspberries in there, but I didn't get a really strong matcha flavor. I tasted mostly raspberries and the cake. The cake is good, but it's a little dry. Not in a bad way. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way, but it's a little bit on the drier side. Let's taste this one. Also, since I had a raspberry on my last bite, I'm gonna add one here just so I can taste the same burst of fruit with the cake. You definitely taste the matcha in mine, maybe a little too much. Next time I make it, maybe I'll reduce it by a little bit. I got too overzealous and wanted to put too much matcha in there. It's not bad, it's very, very matcha-y, which I love, but if you don't, then go ahead and reduce it. Now the texture of the cake is completely different from this one. This one, like I said, was a little more dry, where mine tasted really chewy and it had just like a little bit more moisture to it. If you guys have ever had the mung bean green and yellow cake at the Vietnamese deli, it reminds me a lot of that cake. I think it's called bánh gia lăng. If you guys are Vietnamese, you'll know what I'm talking about, but it reminds me a lot of that cake, just in terms of the texture. But I like them both, honestly. I wish the one at Republic was not as dry, and if we were to mash these two together, I think we'd have the perfect mochi cake. But both of them are good on their own. Just doing a side-by-side comparison, I feel like together they'd be perfect. Anyways, let's have Nate try. Okay, Nate's gonna validate me or Republic.
It's gummy.
Wait till you try this one.
I don't know if I like mochi cake.
Don't say that. Okay, that was theirs. Now this is mine.
I think yours is better.
Really? All right, well, that's one vote for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, this recipe. I tried my best to get Nate on camera. This is the best I can do, but I appreciate his first ever commentary on our honeysuckle cooking video. My goodness, it's been like 6 years. Anyways, if you guys want to see more baking videos, please be sure to subscribe and leave a comment below with a matcha and cake emoji if you've watched this far. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Good job.
Thanks! You're not just saying that because I'm your wife? Or that
Nope.
I know where you live and sleep?
Never would I say that.
Just kidding.